All right, at 6:30, we can get started. Stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, Republic for which it stands. Okay, welcome everyone to the November 8th P&Z meeting. Can we do a roll call?
Yes, sir. Mark Favazza,
Here.
Matt Foreman. Here. Jeff Hunt.
Here.
Jeff Moore. Here. Paul Moran here. Brian Nolan.
Here.
John Ritter.
Here.
Lisa Shering.
Here.
Everyone else is absent, but we are quorate.
Okay, thank you. Can anybody want to approve the agenda?
Yeah, I propose that.
Okay, agenda's good. How about the approval of the minutes from the October 11th meeting? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. No issues with that. Are there any citizens here or online who wish to address the board on an issue that's not on tonight's agenda? See anyone? Okay. And we are off to old business. P&Z item 23-12 I see has been pushed to the December 13th meeting. Okay, do we have a motion to continue it?
Propose that.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? No? It passes. I don't have my gavel. Okay, next order of business, 23-13, the comprehensive sign plan for Gene Dell Printing at 9019 Manchester Road. Is the applicant here? Would you like to come forward? And do we need to do a city report on that, or? Yes. Okay.
So this is a continuation of the sign plan for Jindal Properties at 9019 Manchester Road. At the last Planning and Zoning Commission, they continued the discussion to specifically look at the landscaping and the location of the proposed monument sign to the Site Plan Subcommittee. The Site Plan Subcommittee met on the 25th and recommended approval provided that it is set back 5 feet from the edge of the curb of the sidewalk, a total of 8 feet 6 inches from the property line. And this would give them room back here. The city's landscape architect, Andy Frank, was there and also made recommendations on the type of trees that were proposed. And both of those were included as part of a condition of approval within the staff report tonight. He is here tonight if you have any questions for him as well.
Discussion on this? Worked out in subcommittee, we think? Okay. All right, is there I guess, you guys want to add anything? Nope, you're good, okay. I guess let's have a motion then, or, yes? Mr. Chairman? Yes.
Yes, that was also addressed. The applicant, and as part of a condition of the approval, we've indicated that those are to be removed, and any replacement of any similar type structure would require a site plan review at the Planning and Zoning Commission, a review at the Board of Aldermen. They have removed those, so, but they are not allowed to put those back unless they get approval by this board and the Board of Aldermen.
Yes, they were removed last weekend.
Okay, anything else? All right, do we have a motion?
I move to recommend approval of the comprehensive signage plan for the property addressed as 1919 Manchester Road, as presented in the staff report and drawings reviewed at the October 11th and November 8th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, subject to the conditions listed in the staff report for November the 8th.
You have a second?
Second.
Yep.
Take a vote.
Matt Foreman,
Yes.
Skeff Hunt,
Yes.
Jeff Moore. Yes. Paul Moran, yeah. Brian Nolan,
Yes.
John Ritter,
Yes.
Lisa Shearing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's passed unanimously.
Motion passes. Thank you.
This will be for a public hearing at the November 20th Board of Aldermen meeting for first review.
On to new business, P and Z item 23-14. Looks like we need a motion to continue.
Yes.
We have a motion.
So moved.
So moved. Okay. Second? Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Take the acclamation path too.
Okay. All right. Moving on. P and Z item 23-15, comprehensive sign plan for St. Louis Society for the Blind and Visually Impaired building at 8770 Manchester Road. Do we have a city report?
Yes.
Or
the
do we bring
applicant
the applicants
usually
up?
goes
Okay.
first. Y'all could state your name
Yeah.
and address, or name and address for the record, yes.
Yes.
I'm Scott Brazel with Fast Signs.
I'm Sean Brady with Cozad Property Management.
Generally, the applicant presents what they are requesting.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
We were originally just trying to get these signage for Strohmeyer Dental passed. Then we were told we had to come up with the site plan, so we did that. We've really the only new signage we have at the moment is for Strohmeyer, but we do have a couple other spots along the building that we have listed for possible future signage.
Okay. Where the city would give us their report? Okay.
Whitney Kelly, on behalf of the city of Brentwood. So the city's sign regulation for a multi-tenant or multi-floor building with multiple tenants on a single zone lot provides for one, what we refer to as building signage, main signage for the building, per each commercial street frontage at 80 square feet. Then each grade level tenant having their own public entry from the commercial street or from the side street are entitled to one wall sign that is limited to 1/4 of the width of their lineal frontage of their tenant space with a minimum of 20 square feet. With a maximum sign area per tenant is restricted to 80 square feet. The proposed signage for the dentist that came in is they are located on the second level of the bump out with the entrance that faces Brentwood Boulevard. Therefore, because they're a second floor tenant, the code does not provide for a sign for them. So that's why they're seeking approval for a comprehensive sign plan. They've also included tenant signage on the elevation that faces Manchester Road on the east portion of the building, the two tenant signage that also does not correspond to a ground floor tenant or an entrance to their own tenant space. They are also, with the existing building signage for the Society for the Blind, there's two existing ground floor tenant spaces that already have their own signs, but they're also proposing a third that also does not correspond to a ground floor tenant with its own entrance. This would make for a total of 7 signs on the building. And then the site plan is to document the existing ground signs that are pre-existing non-conforming as well. And that the current regulations require that any ground sign be set back at least 10 feet. They are pretty close to right on the property line with very limited landscaping ability around them. So this would just legalize those existing signs. Overall, the intent of the comprehensive sign plan is that it is to create flexibility for buildings, but it is also to create a uniform look of signage and to provide, to lessen the clutter than just granting more signs. Just granting more signs could be seen as giving this tenant, this property, and similar properties an advantage that other properties would not be provided unless they also sought a comprehensive sign plan. Overall, they have indicated that the building signage for all of the tenants that could go up to 38 square feet with the existing St. Society of the Blind building tenant signage would exceed 40% of the building facade. Staff finds that to be excessive. And therefore, discussion with the applicant about narrowing that down is up to the Planning and Zoning Commission, providing a little more continuity in the overall designs of the signs. Currently, they have the existing building signage as individual letters mounted to the building. They have two illuminated signs that are mounted to a raceway. The dentist is also an individual letter mounted to the building. And then the remaining ones, they've said, all signs could be on a raceway and be illuminated as well. So there's no real continuity in the overall design of any of the signage. And staff recommends that they provide such and work with the Planning and Zoning Commission to work that out. The ground signs had missing landscaping around them, but because they were so limited, I did not have our landscape architect provide a detailed review. However, he did suggest that low ground coverage such as liriope could be added to fill in and soften the existing signs. So. Okay.
Discussion? Any questions? I guess my question is, you're on the second floor, you're not allowed to have a sign on the building. What kind of signage are you allowed anyway?
As an individual tenant on the second floor, you're not provided for a sign because they provide, it's the overall building signage that is allowed, that is up to 80 square feet per street frontage. So they could have a second sign on that portion that faces South Brentwood Boulevard. That could be the building identification sign, but as an individual tenant on their own, they are not provided with a sign. Correct. Correct. But you can have a building identification sign such as what the St. Louis Society of the Blind is showing. So, for instance, you know, many large cities would have, oh, yeah, I'm in the same building as the Bank of America building, just look for that sign. You know, it's the building identification sign. The intent of the sign code is you don't want to overwhelm a building with too much signage, and you don't want to add to the visual clutter by providing a specific distinction between ground floor tenants and overall building signage.
Essentially, they are a very large
Yes, yes.
Is there an opportunity that instead of the Society of the Blind having the main sign, is there an opportunity to list some of the tenants on that marquee that's the ground sign out in front of the building, rather than having individual signage at different points on the building? Is that at all, would that be within code or signage guidelines?
Yes, that would be in code as long as it met, well, the existing signs are pre-existing non-conforming, but the sign area, as long as they maintain the existing sign area, that would be allowed, is to be on the ground sign.
Thank you.
Couldn't build up from where it is right now to add the other names.
Correct. Once you modify the sign beyond a certain extent, you have to meet the current code, which would require it be set back at least 10 feet, which is very limited in this case, yeah.
So you couldn't have it be non-conforming in that the location of the main sign not move, but the display or the lettering on the sign change and list more than one tenant?
The overall structure could not change, but they can list the overall, the tenants within that sign area that's provided, yeah.
Thank you.
Correct.
Do all the second floor tenants access the building through these doors with the window graphics on it?
Just want to make sure you're talking into the microphone so people can hear.
Heavy, sorry.
I guess I'm a little unclear as to what we're being asked to approve. So there's 3 signs currently, and you want to put the Strohmeyer Dental sign, which would be 4, and then there's potentially 2 other spots where you would be allowed to put signs, but you're not requesting any signage there at this time?
So the comprehensive sign plan would provide, and it's actually 3, would provide for those future tenant signs without amending the comprehensive sign plan. Staff is recommending that the sign area be lowered and provide more consistency in the overall design. But the package of this comprehensive sign plan would approve the existing signs, the proposed dentist sign, and any of the future tenant signs that are identified for those locations. So it would be approved at staff level should the Planning and Zoning Commission and Board of Aldermen approve the overall comprehensive plan for the building. It's including those future ones at a future time.
And would the Paul Mitchell be on the second floor as well?
Correct.
Okay. Is this something we need subcommittee for?
That is my recommendation
Okay.
at this time.
Okay.
And they seemed willing and were,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, well then maybe we need to take this to subcommittee, which would be, what was that, November
9th.
29th?
The 26th. Well, hold on. It's in the motion. 29th, November 29th.
29th. And refresh my memory, we don't need a motion to take it to subcommittee, do we?
Yeah,
Oh,
I believe we do.
we do?
Yeah, take it
Okay.
to subcommittee.
Right here for you.
okay.
I move to continue the discussion for the comprehensive signage plan for the property addressed as 8760, 8798 Manchester Road, to the site plan subcommittee on November 29th for additional review, and from there to make a recommendation to the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Matt
let's do
Foreman?
it.
Yes.
Jeff Hunt?
Yes.
Jeff Moore? Yes. Paul Moran, yes. Brian Nolan?
Yes.
John Ritter?
Yes.
Lisa Sherring?
Yes.
That's unanimous, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so we're going to subcommittee. All right. And we'll see you on the 29th. Thank you. Then we have, next item, 23-16. It looks like we need a motion to continue to the December 13th meeting.
So moved.
So moved, okay. I don't see any aldermen for the aldermanic report, and Director of Planning and Zoning report.
So we will have the 3 items that were continued, so December should be a nice, long discussion. The Monday is actually the deadline for any new applications, and I haven't received anything yet, but there could be at least 1 or 2 more, but I'm not sure. We have in the packet the schedule for 2024 for your review. I will note that we have to be determined for the site plan subcommittee for November and December, because the November one is the night before Thanksgiving, which I'm assuming most people travel. And the one for December is either Christmas Day or the day after Christmas, so I'm assuming nobody wants to come to that either. So if we do have any site plan subcommittees at those times, we would have to specify a specific date and work, yeah.
Okay,
That meeting also 6 o'clock?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, 6:30.
6:30.
6:30.
Subcommittee is 6 o'clock, planning and zoning, we
Please.
still have at 6:30.
Okay.
Do you prefer the 6:30? I mean, does that seem to be working for everybody? Okay,
I prefer 6:30. It's going to be difficult for me to get here by 6, I'll
Yeah.
be honest.
okay. Okay,
All right,
Okay, so it's at 6:30 then on Wednesday, November the 29th. Thank you.
and so the H3 Studio is getting started on the architectural design guidelines, so they are looking for a steering committee of some of the members, and I've asked Paul Moran if he would like to join, and I know Matt Foreman would like to join, but if there's another member of the Planning and Zoning Commission that would like to serve, it would probably meet quarterly and just help guide the development of the design guidelines through the public process, get feedback, that kind of thing. But they would probably only meet quarterly or every 8 to 10 weeks.
You have Carl on the list already.
I did have Carl.
The other suggestions I had were Al Cross, who's a Brentwood resident, registered architect, former chairman of the Architectural Review Board.
Okay,
He was willing to participate, but he wanted to know the time commitment.
okay.
The other suggestion, I think,
Well, and he might be, there's also a meeting for stakeholders that he might be more appropriate, which would be one time, which that would be commercial and residential stakeholders that we might pull in as a kickoff as well. That would only be one meeting. This is more of a working, the steering committee is more of a, like the working group. So,
everything?
Yeah.
I guess we need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Mr.
Do
Chairman.
I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.